Hello, all. Welcome to study 35 of the Solving Studies to Improve Chess Calculation series. This comes from the Welsh composer David Blundell. In his words, he claims that his studies were more for the didactic ones, and so making them a bit more difficult. I think those also are very good for calculation. This is a good example, the one I bring you here. Requires a lot of precision, and of course precision and calculation and improving calculation goes side by side. I hope you enjoy this one. uh, if you haven't watched the guide, then you can start solving when the countdown starts, and I see you with the solution. And here we are for the solution, and the first only move is, of course, King h6. So we are dealing with a study that is also a pawn end game. And in pawn end games, we need to be super precise. Okay, so most of the times, any error is a fatal mistake. So here, another trick that we should memorize is when we are playing pawns, we also need to count the move. So, for example, if I started with b4, this would be a mistake because of course, black would also advance its pawn, and the white king is now out of reaching that pawn. So, just counting the moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for white, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for black, we reach very easily to the conclusion that we will get two queens at the same time. And of course, now white starts to check the king and so on. So we are playing just for, for a draw. So the only first good move is, of course, king h6. So now, of course, black can't advance the pawn. So offering that would be just a silly surprise for white to win it fast. So needs to advance the king. So keep supporting the pawn and forcing white to play. So now there is no brain over here. So we don't want to play king h5 because we can't. So we play b4, and of course black plays g5. The same idea. So now white to play again. Let's count the moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And in the end, we don't see nothing. White will need to check the king. For example, over here, the king comes to the side. There's no way to force it anymore. So the best move is again for the king to move. And again, the king needs to come helping the pawn. Of course, there is no way the king has chances to go to the other side. Let's see, for example, if the king goes to try to help to take the other pawns, well, this is simply a loss because we are going to take, and when the king reach more or less this position, he will be faced with the situation that, okay, I can threat to take down, but now the pawn will be really fast, so you can see. Oh, sorry for this last one. This is the right move, of course. And now the promotion is achieved, but black isn't able to promote the pawn on time. So of course we don't want to consider too much silly defenses like this one. So the king needs to go to f5. White to play again and needs to advance the pawn, and again here black will play again g4. So it's white to play again, so we again have the chance to move the king or the pawn. So let's count the moves again: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And after, if the queen delivers a check, the king just goes behind, and we are playing queen and pawn versus queen and pawn. It is, of course, a draw. So we again conclude that the best move is king h4. So here again, let's see what black does. Of course, supporting the pawn, so it's the best chance for black. And now we again advance the pawn. So b6, and again black will advance the pawn again. So let's count the moves again. 1, 2, 1, 2. So we get a queen, but now the position of the king is not so good. And so this is the secret, to always count the moves and try to look a bit deeper to see if we get some kind of fork, pin, or something special that we can grab the other queen. And this is the moment to release the previous mechanics and go with b7. This is the key move of solving this study. And so, of course, black has no other chance either to try to promote itself the pawn. So white promotes, black promotes, and now what? Can you find the remaining moves? Pause if you can't. Let's see how it happens. We simply deliver a check. Now you can see the king is really constrained, so just one move. And of course, after playing queen e3, well, the king and the queen are in a very uncomfortable and unlucky position, and check, and then we take the queen, and of course you already know this is a win for white. So yes, very didactic indeed. So David Blundell really does very didactic studies. Maybe we can search more for future studies. Who knows? And hope you also have enjoyed the solution and see you again in future studies. Bye bye.